No, I think I was always very spiritual, but you know, when I kind of teenage years were very sensitive years for me because I was searching for identity. What am I? Am I Azeri? Am I Iranian? Am I English? Am I Muslim? Am I Christian? What am I? And you know, it so happened that I was very fortunate and blessed to, you know, come up, get close to my faith. You know, my Islamic faith really helped me kind of put everything into perspective, and you know, that was the turning point. But it would be like on and off, if you know what I mean. I wasn't committed 100%. But by the time I was, you know, 19, 20, you know, there was a spiritual awakening, if you like, and I wanted to live a certain lifestyle. I still do. A lifestyle that I still, you know, adhere to. Definitely. I had, when I was growing up, I had Armenian friends, I had Jewish friends, I had Christian friends, and I still do to this day. I have all types of friends, and I think growing up in a place like London, you know, it opens your mind. You know, you become much more, your world is multifaceted, your world is wide. It's not like that. It's not narrow. Because narrow-minded people are often the people who don't really know much, you know, about others, and they fear that which they don't know. And usually that's the case with most people who are, you know, narrow-minded, and you know, they're on the, you know, they don't really want to mix. They don't want to, you know, they don't want to think outside the box. They're the types of people who don't really, you know, they're ignorant. And when you don't know something, you fear it. You're scared of it. Al-Mu'allim, first of all, I don't personally believe it was an Arabesque album. It was religious. It was quite religious. It's quite religious, and with quite a lot of Arabic as well. The way I look at it is, Al-Mu'allim describes my love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My ummah describes my utopia for the ummah. This album is the reality as I see it. It's human. It's much more not romanticized. It's much more raw, slightly darker. It isn't a particularly easy listening, you know, easy listening, you know, just everyone remember every, you know. It's a somewhat more sophisticated album, and it's a manifestation of my genre of music, which is spiritique, which I have. I spent a year and a half thinking about it and studying my own music, and finally I came up with a term to coin my music, which is spiritique. Something that I'm going to be investing a lot of time, more time on as well. Islamic pop and biggest king of Islamic rock star and all that stuff comes from marketing and branding, which we talked about earlier in our previous interview. If I was represented by Sony, believe me, they could somehow get Al-Mu'allim aired on Sony, Universal, Europa. If I was represented with a major label, they would somehow get Al-Mu'allim onto the mainstream radios in America, because they have the networking, they have the power. Or Haberturk, or one of these big channels, or even Zaman, for example. But because I was being dealt by a religious, not religious, but a label that orients around a specific type of framework, they got my music into jamis and the masajid and very small local places. But I'm not criticizing that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's the reality of what occurred, what happened. And because of the marketing and branding, I got known as the Islamic pop star and king of Islamic, all that stuff. But the reality is that I am an artist. If I was a businessman, I'd carry on with the status quo. That was good. That makes money. That's, you know, it's maqam and all kinds of things come with it. I have no problem personally with religious music, ilahi, Sami You're, you were talking about, beautiful, you know. What my issue is the way it's marketed. The marketing they use. to promote this work.
Evet. Bu arada yani ilahiyle veya dini müzikle bir problemim de yok. Sadece bunun
It's the
pazarlanış tarzı.
marketing, it's the promotion they use, the way they promote it, trying to create some kind of Michael Jackson, you know, Islamic rock star, Islamic pop star, Islamic Michael Jackson. This is not right. It's an oxymoron. They don't go together. If you really believe in what you're saying, you wouldn't want that. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's like a Frankenstein, you know. It's like you create something and then it's a monster in the end, you know. It's not healthy. You have to be very, very careful. And I, as a responsible person, I need to say these things, because if I don't, it will come back to haunt me in the future. I have to say what I have to say. Right or wrong, I don't know, but I feel I should say it.